Hello, everyone. Hello, good evening, everyone. So, thank you for coming to this webinar. My name is Jignesh. I'm a career counselor in Delphi Star Training Center. I hope I'm audible now. Just want to share the few topics about the cybersecurity. So, first of all, I would like to thank you all joining today's webinar. And this webinar is going to be very interesting. As we are talking about cybersecurity and we are connect with our most of the things through our daily life about using phones and computers. And nowadays we are doing shopping online, doing transactions through online. So what are the things we should take care and we should keep in mind, are we doing a safe thing or not in our daily basis? So we are doing some introductions about cybersecurity. And the main thing is that our main objective is to share the knowledge and learn together in this webinar. Here is the platform where you can share informations. If you want to share something, you can also share, and we can also discuss on that part. So I would like to introduce Mr. Kashif Akhtar. He is a facilitator. He provides training on cybersecurity, supply chain, and project management. He has over 23 years of work experience in the corporate world. He would like to share his experience and knowledge based on today's topic. And I would like to request you all to please ask questions. When he asks questions, please ask the questions and clear your doubts. And please feel comfortable in this webinar. This webinar is going to be very interesting, guys. So if you feel that you want to ask more questions after the webinar, you are always welcome. And end of the webinar, sir will share my details. You can reach out to me anytime. You can WhatsApp me or email me. I'm happy to assist you further. So over to you, Kashif, sir. We can start the webinar.
So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Jignesh. Do you want me to start now, or are we going to wait for some people are still coming in, or can we start and they can later join
So,
in?
yes, we can start in a few minutes. Meanwhile, could you please share some informations about you, what you are doing, so that the audience can understand before start the main topic.
Okay, so just to start with, I am still a learner in the field of information security or the cyber security. The reason I am saying I am just a learner is that even though I have been working in this field for last 20 odd years, still things are changing day by day, and nobody is a colossus of every subject he can know or he can understand or he can teach actually. But it is a very big area. But still, whatever knowledge I have gained through my experience, through my exposures by working online or using the online platform like the cyberspace, I would be love to. It will be my pleasure to share with the audience itself something which is regards to the cyberspace. What is actually the cyberspace? Why we call it as a cyberspace? Why the cyberspace has started getting some risks, some threats, and why it is important for us to keep ourselves safe before we blame others for our safety. So, my whole idea or the gist of this information session will be to keep our safety in our hand, understand what are the various risks and threats which can occur in a cyberspace. So, that will be my domain. And I also teach cybersecurity, something about certified information security audit, and lots of other security professional certifications. And my ideas and my gain of the professional knowledge, I think, should be helpful for you. And the whole aim is to come to facilitate the participants to understand the cybersecurity, not from the angle of how we communicate on the cyberspace, but also to the angle if somebody is looking ahead in his career and wants to join the cyber field, because there are lots and lots of career oriented potential in this field. So if somebody wants to actually make up his career and become Bill Gates or Steve Jobs of tomorrow, you never know, you can be one of them, because everything is going to go into the IT field, or it is going to go online, and we will be only using the non-living things like computer, mobile phones, and other platforms to communicate with each other. So that's why, and that's how it has become very much interesting. So that's it from my Jignesh, from my side. A little bit of introduction before we officially kick off the session.
So we just want to start this webinar. So we have more people to come. So we'll start. We can start, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good evening, everyone. Formally, it's my pleasure to welcome you on board to, towards today's journey of risk and threats in cyberspace. And the whole aim is everyone should know. So that will be my focus during this presentation. So let's start the journey. So I would like to welcome you formally, and I will be discussing little bit about the agenda, a short introduction, some objectives which I have put in my mind. And if you guys have anything in your mind, you can just share with us. And cybersecurity, a little bit of introduction. Like people usually have a myth that cybersecurity is a duty of IT people. We should not be bothered about that. So we are going to ask some questions to ourselves and then see why I am saying our home, our organization, and cybersecurity is for everyone. And we will understand why cybersecurity and IT dimension. And then if we know this field, we will be in the market, which I mean is the job market or a career market. If we don't know it, so I will be explaining why I'm saying that, and some career prospects in IT and cybersecurity. So even if you are just young and you are taking your educations and all those things, but it is a good idea to side by side prepare yourself for the future also. And something about me, which I have already discussed, but I will discuss a little bit more. And since we are attending this session through Delphi platform, so I will just mention a little bit about Delphi and the closing remarks and questions and answers. So let's start the session officially. So today my whole focus is about cyberspace security, its component, and how we should behave in this wider cyberspace. Now, to give you a glimpse of what is a cyberspace, it is just a sort of space which was created during the age when the computers were invented, and the whole idea was that people can exchange information, people can exchange their emails or whatever information, so they can interact on a common space, and the computers will be there. So the computer was the platform for interacting on the cyberspace. So internet domain names and all these things came up. So it is just like when I am sitting in my home, so I am very much comfortable, I feel safe. The reason because I know each and every family member. I know their good habits, I know their other habits which I don't like, and I can deal with them. But when I go outside, which I called out of the building, and you go on the road. So in the road, even though you are a very good driver, but that environment is not totally in your hand. You can only be safe to your extent, but somebody can come and hit you if he is not putting concentration or if he's using a mobile phone. The same thing happens in the cyberspace also. When we go out of our domain and try to interact on a wider cyberspace, which is just like an area where most of other peoples are there, and I really don't know who are they, and I am going to pass on the information, I am going to exchange the emails, I am going to exchange the information. Now I don't know whether that guy who has come up or who is talking to me is the authenticated user, or he has good intention, who is really my friend, or he has some bad intention, which we usually called in the IT field as a malicious sort of intentions. So once we are out of our home, out of our comfortable, so we have to rely on certain things. And the cyberspace is good example of the road. Also in the road, you have to follow the UA regulations and you have to stop on the red signal. So cyberspace also have some good practices, some rules to be followed. So the best rule they have put is that once you want to interact, you need to have a username and password, fill in your information. Only then you can have a Gmail account, you can have an Hotmail account, you can have a Rediff account, you can have lots and lots of other things. But I can bluff on that. I can make a user, fake user, and try interacting with people because my intentions are not good. So that's why on the cyberspace, it becomes very much essential that we should concentrate on our space, and we should be very much particular about what we are going to share, what we are going to exchange, and what we are going to talk on the cyber. Because if a person with a malicious intention is going to harm me, he can harm me very big time. So that's the only thing, because I don't know. He is just behind a computer. He's just using an IP address, which is the Internet Protocol address. And it's a vast field to identify that guy, because when we reach that IP address also, he may be using another VPN connection or lots of hiding things, which he masks himself and we will not be able to get hold of him. So that's why it's very important to understand the cyberspace and the threats we are encountering nowadays. So whole objective is to clarify your doubts about the cyber risk and threats, why security is applicable to everyone, cyber aspects the parents should take care and educate their children all about, things to take care while we are working remotely post-pandemic, while learning from home, while shopping and banking online. It used to be very easy for the organizations to handle their employees because they were in a premise now. But now just imagine everybody is sitting in their home. Every child is having a remote learning sort of thing. So just taking care of 90,000 to 150,000 people who are working in Dubai alone remotely, and to just take care of all those things. So it becomes like difficult for even the IT professionals to handle that. And I can see somebody is raising a hand. So you are allowed to speak if you really want to speak. No problem. You can ask your questions. If somebody's wanting to ask some question, please.
Sir, okay, okay. Narendra, do you have any question?
Or
Narendra Singh?
can I continue? If we have any questions, we have a full,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so everyone, please ask questions to Kashif sir. We are happy to listen your questions and we can answer it.
Okay, so just to continue with the fact that previously children used to be in one premise, which was called school, and there was no IT components of all. It was like face-to-face teaching. So like the laptops were there with the teachers, but not with the, but now every student is having a mobile phone connected to the server of the organization or maybe to the server of the school. So just imagine the impact it can have. And if somebody gets into that server who is not authorized with bad intention, he can actually steal this information about the child, about the humans, or about the company. So this becomes a big issue nowadays. So let's discuss what is actually cybersecurity. Now, if you see, cybersecurity is simply related to some common sense things and precautions which we can take as an individual while working on an IT network or an environment which I call usually as the internet or the social media. The other one, the important thing is that every one of us who are attending this thing, this session today, or who are not attending also, have some unique information. And this unique information is very critical because some of this information is being used as your secret questions in the banking side. Some of things are being used like your date of birth and your father's maiden name is being used as an authentication for using the IVR service of the bank when you're calling the bank and asking them for some things. Okay, so we need to understand some of the things is very important for us. And nowadays we are all interacting with non-living things which are computers. They only understand the authentication. So if I become any one of the participant like Jignesh and I put his username password, don't expect the computer or other person to understand it is not Kashif, it is Jignesh. It is very difficult. And if this information is lost or taken over, damage will occur. And there is certain set of damage which can be like rectified, but some damages can go beyond rectification. So I'm not going to make you more fearful for this one, but it is something which we all need to know and we all need to be careful of. So if anyone of us still have some doubt that we are
Harib raised a hand, just want to know what is his question.
okay, I don't mind. Mr.
Please
Hari.
put questions in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, we have one question.
Mhm.
Uh, App should be able to catch or read to app people with the same ID in one app.
Yeah, we can do that, but definitely it requires some sort of effort. And it has to be thought by the application itself that only two attendants are two with the same people or duplicate people are coming and they are joining a session. It can be done. There is no harm in that. But we need to ask ourselves why we want to do that. So we can do that. That is not a problem. So we are going to discuss once you go through the slides, and I have like put on some of the information which maybe will be able to I will be able to answer this question more technically and more in a graphical manner. So if we think, because it was a myth that okay, cybersecurity we should not be bothered, IT companies, the IT is there, so they will take care of that one. But nowadays when we are coming towards so every one of us may be using Wi-Fi, so we have to ask this question. We are using laptops at home. Okay, our family is using internet. We have smart TV at home. We are using social media applications. We are using mobile phones. Are we using mobile data? Are we using the internet to do banking? So if answer of any of these questions is yes, so this is my concern. Now, how would you feel when you are driving back home and somebody of and one application which is called the Google Map tells you if you take this route, you are 20 minutes away from your home. So now if Google app can monitor my activities, so if somebody hacks a Google server, he will know where exactly I am. So does that thing raises a question mark why Google is doing this? The reason being because I have given that Google Map a permission to do that. So I need to check my privacy settings because I don't want Google to be monitoring me where and why I am going. There will be a good aspect also for Google also that if a family members want to know where you have got stuck, so they can know. But again, at the end of the day, the good usually will be empowered by the bad things which internet can do to us. So that we need to keep in mind. So let's start if we have all those things. So what's the problem now? Now, if I show you a real IT environment in our home, this is our family, and look at how many components we are communicating, and we are least bother because our Wi-Fi's are on full day and night. Our Bluetooth is on full day and night. TVs are being monitored, PlayStations, credit card, whatever you name it, we are 365 days after pandemic using our online 100% of our time, even though we are not using it. We think TVs are not listening, TVs are switched off, TVs have all the capability of listening to you. That is how the Google Assistants came into being. He's listening to you. You just say something, he will be able to recognize your voice and understand what you're trying to say. Okay, your printers are Wi-Fi. Somebody can connect to your Wi-Fi and go ahead. So this is why I call IT environment home. We are becoming smart day by day, and we often don't realize that we are interacting on a cyberspace where we don't know who is going to do what with my information, which is already available there. And I really don't know whether I am talking to these people or these devices are safe enough, or somebody has not done anything bad with these kind of devices which I am using. So that is something which is a little bit of alarming for me. Okay, so let's discuss what are the threats. If I am saying, okay, my home is an IT environment, so what's the problem in that? The first thing is that there is a paradigm shift in socializing. Previously, we used to talk to everybody over the telephone, and we were using to sit together, visiting. Now, after the social practices or the standard operating procedures adopted by the government, people are not visiting each other. So most of the things are happening through live chat, Twitters, social media, and even the telephone is a internet protocol telephones, which is IP telephony, the new concept. Now, these kind of things, there is a paradigm shift. Okay, so we are living in a new world order now, where we are socializing with our families and friends, and this has become a basic element of socializing in today's world. The other thing, previously we used to go to the school, have a face-to-face chat. Now we are talking through the devices, through the social media. We have to cross the internet to go to our teacher, and the teacher has to cross the internet and the cyberspace and talk to us. So now these kind of things is after. Now the home has no other option because everybody is working, doing, socializing on the internet only. So that has become a problem. So we are using this IT components, but do not educate ourselves, and we often ignore IT security. Even some of our friends tell us to do that. So I need to be IT aware. So now what are the threats? Now if you see simple Wi-Fi, now just to give you a glimpse of how Wi-Fi can be a problem for you. Now, one of the instances which I'm going to share with you, I had a cleaner in my building, so he came to me that I am a poor guy, I don't have a Wi-Fi. Can you share your password with me? I need to speak to my wife. So I shared that password with me, even though and I am a cyber tech person. Okay, I said, okay, there is an element of sympathy and all those things. But what happened after 15 days, I was not able to even log into my Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi has a bandwidth broadband. You cannot like exceed certain amount of things, and even if you exceed also, you will not get the connection. So when I saw there are about 20 other devices which I don't identify, and I not know who are those people are running on my Wi-Fi. Now, this is one instance, and if one of those people is an IT tech person, he can come into my Wi-Fi, he hack my Wi-Fi, and if I am connecting to VPN to my office server, he can go through that VPN and do a damage. Bluetooth threats. If my Bluetooth is on, and one of my younger daughter, sister, brother, he presses and shares some photos on the Bluetooth by mistake, the other person who has this Bluetooth open or on will simply get the photos. Cellular threats and outcomes. If my phone is being intruded as a botnet or somebody has hacked it, he can come inside and steal my private information. And there was a big issue when the Facebook was found to be monitoring the which bank site I am going, and was their idea was to give you a personalized ad, but this is an invasion of your privacy, which is a culpable law or is a penalized sort of crime in Europe. So they found Facebook doing that. So I'm not against Facebook, but something they have done for good, but somebody can hack these things and can misuse it. So we need to understand the threats a little bit more. So social networking. Now this cartoon has been picked up only because maybe it's not very much applicable to UAE society, but it is a threat. If you are from India, Pakistan, or somewhere else which doesn't have a very good security atmosphere or environment, there is no control environment. I put on a message, hi guys, I'm going, my status updates say I'm going to Greece, I'm going to America, and 2 weeks I'm going to enjoy. You come back and your home is empty. What you did was in a good intention to tell your friend, but one of your friends have enabled friends of friends, and the privacy of the information is now gone. So somebody with a bad intention has come and has stolen everything. The other one is when we go for any interview, or unknown people will ask and start socializing with you. When you were born. Now, this is not the questions you are going to ask when you meet somebody for the first time. What's your mother maiden name? Why? Even if I go to the interview, everything is listed on my CV. Why the employer is going to ask me these questions? I need to say, somebody call on your phone and say that I am from CID, tell me your name. So you should simply say, sir, you are from CID, you know everything about myself. Why you are asking me to repeat this information for you? Because I don't know who is real. Is a real legitimate police officer with the authority, or is just like this. So we need to ask who is asking that question, in what context we are talking. So we should not be passing on that information which somebody can misuse or use it for against me or doing something. So this is a cartoon which says that, like, they will try to be, oh, I know your mother belongs to that area, what is her name, can you please repeat it? Why they have to do that? I have no concerns with you, you should not be asking me for that information. Now sometimes our face expressions tell our friend, like, we don't should not be challenging anyone in the cyberspace. If I tell you I have password protected one of my file and document, and you ask, and challenge you, you will never be able to know. So I ask you a simple question, what's your dog name? Is Watson. So you will, if you say, okay, I will be right back, this means that you are using your animal's name for your password. So never give an indication what you usually do. Never type in a password in front of your friends, no matter how close you are, because you never know. This is the only way. The password security is only the one of the good way you can stop anybody from going into and making yourself like safe, and nobody is going to impersonate like you. So if I have my password and it is compromised, I've given to 15 people. So don't blame the cyberspace for any damage which can be done. So that's very much important. Nowadays, fishing is one of the things. It's just like catching a fish with the help of a small worm. Okay, so in this, the issue is that we have put like Kashif's mother is this much. This is relation. She is the wife of Kashif and she is the sister of Kashif. So we know lots and lots of name, and some person who with a bad intention will go and come and will either threaten you, give you something for free, or ask you to click on a link that your bank account is being going to be hauled. Kindly click on that link. The whole idea is to that the moment you click that link, you are trapped on their phishing attempt. So I have captured some of the things from my personal email. Get back to me urgently. Okay, I will be giving you to $15.2 million. Why he should be giving me? And if you see this person is from some virginiamedium.com, he knows my name and he's telling me that your boss is asking to call you back urgently or something. Why he has to do that? So there is always I need to ask, if I know this person, I should not be opening it. Okay, so this is actually an example of phishing. Now a USA ambassador is writing to me that your ATM card has been blocked. Okay, fine, it is blocked. What do you have to do? You are just an ambassador. Why you have to be bothered about my ATM card? And why you need my full information with that? So if we are not aware, and especially not about today's generation. I'm talking about the previous generations. It is very difficult. If we don't know those things, we often fell prey to these kind of attempts. So these guys are very much smart. And after phishing, they started smishing, which is like an SMS. They will send you an SMS. We are unable to process. Please click on this link. And even then, people are becoming more smart. They go for phishing, which is like once they send you a phishing email, they get some of your information or caller IDs, and then they finally call you as a legitimate user or authority. Please give me your Emirates ID, otherwise you will be in jail. So that kind of a things, the government is always saying we will never threat you like this. The banks are saying we are never going to get you like this. So we need to understand these attempts are from the people who have bad intention on the cyberspace. So if I know all those things, so what can I do? Let's see what options I have. So I need to be smart. I need to stay safe with respect to my information. If somebody is asking me to meet up, I should not meet till the time. If I'm a small person or a low age person, I should ask my adults. Or even if I'm adult also, I should not meet up that far unless I am very much sure who is it. I should not accept any files or any emails which are coming. I should not click on that. I have to go to the website. Or if the bank is telling me your ATM is blocked, I can go www.emiratesnbd.com. Why I have to click on that link? And check the information before you believe that this website is telling. And sometimes they give you freeware, please click this and we will go give you this free. Never believe in that, because that free information will come with a malware or a virus with a malicious code, and you will get infected, your computer will get infected. And if you don't know anything, or if you are in doubt, tell an adult if someone things are making you worried over the internet. So that are some of the things which we should be doing. So we should be careful. Okay, we should keep our password a secret from everyone, even your best friend. Okay, don't buy extra or add-ons on the websites if you don't know. Ask an adult before you download anything. And for the children, never use your own name in a game. So even if somebody can see who is there, I will be using my fake name over there. I will be using my fake date of birth, because I don't want it to be invaded by somebody and he can misuse it. So this is something which is for the parents itself. If you are a parent and if you're going to be a brother, you have a brother and sister, it's good for everyone. So we need to educate ourselves as social media. So that's what I'm saying. I'm still learning, because the hackers and the malicious people are getting more and more strong. So I also have to be like learning a lot of things. I have to establish a age limit for my child to start using social media. And there are certain sites they have written a minimum age of 18 years, which are being exploited in the sense of an adult uses his or her username, password, or an email address to log in. But we need to see whether it is really good for them or not. Regularly check our child's privacy settings and keep our child's profile private, and make sure they are not posting any personal details. And sometimes what happens is that we see one of our friend has said, okay, my father has bought a Ferrari, this is his number, and he has this much in bank account, and he has bought this and this and this. So this become a challenging attempt for the other kids also to have a peer to peer pressure. To reduce that peer to peer pressure, they will also start posting their personal thing. Now, this guy who has challenged or who has start created a challenge environment doesn't have a Ferrari also. He doesn't maybe having a motorcycle also at his home. But because he's challenging the other peers, other of his friends and all these things, so they will become prey to what he's trying to do. Okay, and somebody can use this personal information against you. Okay, so don't allow them to post photos or videos if it is not a very good website, and whether it's a good website and it can give a wrong message also. Okay, make sure their passwords are strong. Never allow them to accept friend requests from people they don't know, and set guidelines and rules for the social media use, and keep an open dialogue with your children to understand if there is a problem. Because sometimes what we have seen is that somebody will threaten them that I have your personal information, I am going to leak it out, you please accept my friend request. If this kind of threat comes, ignore it. The best way is to ignore these kind of things. And if he is little bit more clever, okay, you can report it to the police also. Don't be ashamed. These are some of the things which are normally occurring in nowadays. And even UAE have a cyber criminal act and all these things, so you will be protected from anybody, and you will be doing a good thing for the other people also. So we need to be very sure that we speak with our people, okay, and we make a rule for our house, and we should not be keeping anything from our adults if we are in an education. And the most important thing is that don't open up any files or messages if you don't know that guy, okay. And we need to respect us, and we need to respect others also. So we need to be very much prudent while accepting or doing anything on the cyberspace. So we have to check the security and privacy settings. We have to use parental controls if we are a father or a mother or a parent. Okay, and we need to tell to our people why it is important for them to be safe and why it is for their own safety you are telling them. So with respect to the paradigm shift in the business transaction, previously we used to go, and I think most of the you may not be remembering, previously we used to go to the bank, and the bank person used to know you face to face, but now it is all computer. So they will only know if you have put a correct password and one time password and authentication, they will let you in. It's not their fault. This is how the dimension of today's IT environment is. For shopping also, I buy lots of things from the online shopping. They are least bother which credit card you are using or something. They can, they will deliver you the goods. They don't want to know who you are, even though we are filling in the information, but that information is authentic or is bad. Nobody is asking about your Emirates ID or a passport information. So it is little bit, there is a shift in the shopping transaction in the way we shop nowadays, which is online, and we really don't know the store. Some stores we know are Marks and Spencer, who are very much legitimate, but now everybody is having an application, so everybody is buying online. So if we want to be safe, we need to be very sure what we are doing online, okay. Even if we are making some donations also, so we have to use, when we are using the bank card, so we will be using the low limit card. So these kind of things we need to be making sure. And we have to be always having, we should not be sharing our Wi-Fi passwords also. We need to have a data back of our things, and mobile phones we have to keep a pin. And we have to review the privacy settings of the social media account. Don't simply press I agree. We have to see what they're asking you for the information. And for the online banking, we have to buy from a reliable store, as we know that this is Max, this is Marks and Spencer, this is Centerpoint, and all these things. And use credit card when shopping online for stronger customer protection. Because using debit card is a big issue, because debit card will directly debit your account. And if you have a credit card, so credit card, the MasterCard and the Visa, they are offering you 40 days reliable or dispute option, which is sometimes not available in the debit card option. So check your bank account for, often for suspicious activity. So this is something which is very important. So even in the, like, to speak about the organization now, we in the organization also we have multiple people, we have multiple systems, and these organizations are often at threat only because people wants to know what is happening in that organization. So private information for you, the privacy, and the corporate information is the headline or is the target of the malicious people. They want to know what is happening in your organization, and they want to disrupt it either because of competition, or they might have some other intentions. So this is a little bit complicated, but they also have malware, you have man in the middle attacks, and we have a separate session for that if you are interested. So you can join us in the next webinar, because this is a little bit technical. And whenever we are using free public Wi-Fi's in Dubai airport or in somewhere, so we need to be sure that we are not talking too much heavily, so that they can come, like they can come to know somebody sitting with the computer, And nowadays there is a strong authentication in the airport also, because they want to know who is logging into their free Wi-Fi. They have certain accounts, first come first serve basis, so you have to give your mobile number for authentication, or you have to give your email address for authentication, and they will allow you 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So that is the way they are going to, they are actually taking care of that nobody is actually taking over your information or take over the password or the Wi-Fi itself. So they are trying to stop everything. So every one of us needs to be cyber aware, and we have to own our role in the cyber security. In the office also, lock down our login. When in doubt, throw it out. We don't know anything. So back it up on your own online presence. So share with care. And if you are having a Wi-Fi hotspots, be careful while you are joining it. And some of the conferences which I have attended, so you usually used to see that the Wi-Fi is just like a toothbrush which is often on the floor, and you pick it. We are never going to pick up a toothbrush which is used one, but for the free Wi-Fi, everybody goes for it, and that's why it becomes a big problem with respect to the cyber security. So let's talk about everyday tips which we have. Be careful of the email attachment, web links. We should not be clicking on any link or open an attachment that we were not expecting actually. Okay, we should be using a personal computer separately from the business computers. And this is for the people who have financial authorities, and their one email can even release the funds also. So multi-factor authentication should be used, and most of the times nowadays when you put in your password, so they will ask you for the one-time password. So that is two-way authentication. They something you know and something you will get on your device which you have. Okay, or they will ask you for other authentication through email. So that is multi-factor authentication, and we should not be downloading any software from an unknown web page. We should be never giving out our username or password. And for the offices, we should be having a password management policy to take care of this one. So actually, we need to understand in the office environment, we are only trying to do in the information technology, whatever servers, laptops we have put. The whole idea is to safeguard three contributions or three attributes of the information, which is if it is confidential, it should be only given to the people who are authorized to, the integrity that it has not been changed while flowing through the information system, and the availability of the information. That's the only thing in the office environment we are going to do. And the confidentiality means that nobody who is not authorized to do or look at my information, and it is called the confidentiality aspect of the information. The other one is the integrity, that information has not been modified, and whenever I need the information while working from home or wherever I am, I should be able to access it through using the online services. And the reason we call it pandemic has enabled work from distance. Okay, all countries are becoming cyber and smart ready. Banks are turning out on online platforms. IT technology is growing everywhere. Government transactions are turning paperless. Dubai and other countries are putting in cyber strategy, and business transactions are online using ERP system, which is the enterprise risk. So we should know all those things. Otherwise, the future, even the academics is very much important, but if we don't know the work of IT, we don't know how to operate a laptop or how to operate a mobile phone or how to do online banking, so we will be out of the market actually with respect to our job career. And even if we want to open our own business also, so you have to apply for licenses and all those things, so it has to be done online. There will be no manual approach and nobody is going to entertain you. Even for your accidents also, they're asking you to use the mobile app of Dubai police. So just imagine the things are changing. So we also have to be very much sure what we are really doing in the market. And career prospects, IT professionals are always in demand because everyday processes are on IT platform. Everything is IT based, starting from your banking, grocery, school payments, government transactions. Even visa is going to be going electronic, and even we are going to go pass through a camera or a face scanner, and our visa will be stamped, or there will be no need for manual stamping, and it has a sustainable job prospects. And IT is the backbone of the organization. People knowing IT can reach the management level. If not, they can run their own business. And it's something which is very good career path for all of us. And there is a good prospect with respect to the salary comparison by experiences also. So myself, I am little bit still learning. I am a certified professional, but still learning because the thing is very vast and it is not possible for one person to know each and everything. So we have to learn because the things are changing day to day, and people are malicious. People are also becoming very much active, and the other people who are trying to stop these people, who are basically called the ethical hackers, or who are basically called the remediator of these malicious things, they are also becoming strong and strong. So we also have to learn what was the flaw in that environment and how we can fix that. So since we are talking on the platform of Delphi, so they are a good learning provider, learning and knowledge provider. They are flexible with respect to their time. People like Jignesh, they offer career guidance, and they offer career progression through knowledge upgrade. They provide you hands-on training, make you industry ready, and they have created for school children also some of the videos which you can get aware through the YouTube channels. And if you have any questions and answers before we end this session, and before the last slides, so I'm more than happy to answer any of those.
So please ask questions if you have anything. You can chat. If you feel that, if you have more questions, you can ask me through email, through WhatsApp. If you feel that, after webinar, be a little comfortable asking the few questions, that is also fine. And let me know if you have anything to share. Yes, we can discuss now. And after the webinar also, there's no any problem.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add, uh, there are lots and lots of aspects. With the limitation of time, I have tried to cover most of the things because we had a huge variation in the age group which came for today's session. So definitely, I have tried to make it as simple as possible. But if you have any questions, you can reach out to Jignesh, and this is details, and you can see our Come Learn Together and Delphi Star Training YouTube channel. And shortly and everyday basis, we are releasing short videos on current study areas and the career guidance with simple examples of various professions like supply chain. If somebody is interested in doing safety, becoming safety professional, is if interested in project management, he's so young. So we have different kind of variety of short videos which will be like available on our YouTube channel, and you can just get in contact with Jignesh also. He's going to help you, or he can help you with lots and lots of other things. So I'm more than happy if somebody has any questions, or we can have it separately also, because I can understand like
We have one question from Leonard.
okay.
So, what is the best virus guard that can be installed to personal laptop?
In the personal laptop you can install any antivirus, but that is not the important thing. The important thing is to buy a licensed one. So if you buy a licensed one, then they will give you a sort of protection on daily basis, because the virus definitions are changing on daily basis. New viruses are coming up, and because at the end of the day we need to understand one thing: these laptops or these operating systems or applications, whatever we are using, are made by human beings. So whenever a developer is developing a code, he always keep a back door open for himself to enter if there is a problem. Now, somehow these malicious people can get hold of that back door. So we need to close that back door, so somehow, or make it more protected. So most of the times when we install applications on the mobile phone, so I always say that the people go to the Play Store and download them. Don't, because this Android people or the Samsung people or the iOS operator like the Apple one, they test these applications for security, and then they list them on their application board or their application stores. But if you take it from somebody else or from a website, then nobody can guarantee you that we are doing. And there are firewalls available inside the computer also, in the new computers and the new laptops which are coming up. Okay, so Kaspersky is also offering something, so it is a good one. It's not a problem. Okay, and the antivirus which is inbuilt within your system is offered by Apple also, is offered by HP also, it is offered by Windows 10 also. So Windows 10, once you update a Windows 10 or any application, it comes with its own fixes for virus and fixes for the application weaknesses, of which we call in the IT fields as vulnerabilities. So they take care of all those things. And there is one why it is not a good idea to share passwords with like, I just wanted to ask, like, why you want to share passwords with anybody? Because if you are going to share password with anybody, like if I give you my password, you can pretend and enter with my username in any system, and you can do whatever you want to do as Kashif, and nobody will know that who is this guy who is doing that. So that is actually, for me, it is a very bad practice to share passwords, because password sharing for small things is okay. But if you start sharing your banking passwords or your password which has your privacy information like your passport numbers and all those things, so then it becomes a problem because it can be misused. So you need to understand one thing. If I am using, it is just like a cache. If you have a note which is fallen on the ground, whoever will take that note, belong that notes belong to that is an inherent risk or a risk of having cash. But if it is a check with your name, nobody else can do anything with that. The same thing applies. If I have a laptop and my laptop is password protected and I give you that password, everywhere, even though it will be XYZ using my password, or my sister or my daughter using that laptop, it will be displayed as name of Kashif Akhtar. So even though they do good things or even though they do bad things, so they will be identified as Kashif Akhtar. So that's a problem. So we need to understand that sharing password with your mother, I don't mind; with your father, I don't mind, but not with the people who you don't know. So that's my advice to the person who has asked that questions. And Windows 10 new version is the latest version. And I have seen some of the people, because of the limitation on their resources, they are using XP. XP has been stopped. So there are lots of vulnerabilities in Windows XP. So Windows itself has stopped giving any sort of protection or any sort of updates for that. So we just need to we can have a lot of other things also. And if you would like to get in touch with us, so you can get in touch with us, we can clear your doubts, and you can go to our channel also and find out what we are doing and how good we are doing. And there is no obligation or any cost to that. And since we are like IT cyber aware people, so whoever has registered through their emails and everything on our portal, so we are not going to use that information anywhere. So you should be confident that our Delphi will not be using that information, but we will be listing down our next webinars on IT security, because we have it on every Monday, and we have on other sessions also. So you can find log into Come Learn Together or Delphi Start Training, and you can find out our next webinar, and there will be a link also, and you can you are then more than happy to assist you on that. Okay,
So
there is one more question, Jignesh, before I start, and it's an interesting one. Which subject can my child choose in grade 11 or 12 or during graduation in order to start her career? Okay. So in cybersecurity, you need to understand one thing. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were school dropouts. So academic is one part. You can continue your academic, and you can have individual certifications which are available in the market. It used to be Microsoft System Engineer, MCSE. If somebody remembers, that used to be grade 9 or 10 people used to appear for that exam, and it doesn't require a minimum qualification for appearing into IT security. CompTIA, I remember, Security Plus or A Plus is offering this kind of courses. So you can do it along with your academics. Okay. And after completing your 11th or 12th, You can go for bachelor's of computer science or master of computer science, or even you can go for certified information security professional training. Also you can go for system information security auditor also. These certifications, the worth of this certification is such that if you are in USA, your academic qualification has to be re-evaluated. But with CISA and all the certifications, these are, you are CISA in UAE, you are CISA in America also, in Canada also. So that is something. And like you can reach out to Jignesh, and I can like help you in choosing a best career and for your son or daughter. So you can get in touch with us, and we are more than happy to help you with this one. So I'm
So
very happy to have like lots and lots of questions. So you can reach us, both of us, and we will be getting back to you. And the question with respect to names of the institutions, you can get in touch with Delphi. You can get in touch with other people also for career guidance, because it will not be possible for me for a free session to start naming the institution. Maybe they will not like it actually. So we can do it in person definitely. You can reach out to us, and we can help you with that. So Jignesh, it's over to you.
thank you very much, Kashif sir, for the wonderful webinar. And it is a very important. It was a very important concept about cybersecurity, and it was a good example you set up on cybersecurity, how people can trust on each other. You know what things we should keep in mind. So there are many things, guys. There are many things to understand about cybersecurities. As Kashif sir said that there are many things to share in the further webinar. So we are planning to put step by steps, because learning can never be ending. So knowledge is very important for each and everyone. As I said, the main objective is to have a knowledge and sharing about the things which we don't know. We can ask many things through webinar, and we can share also. These are the good platforms where we create a opportunity to share the details to understand from other people. Okay, so and as Kashif sir said that we have a YouTube channel, and in this YouTube channel, guys, we don't say about the theory part. We give a practical informations, practical details about the profession, so that you can understand. And for the younger students who are planning to plan a setup for their professions, which professions they want to choose, for them also we are soon going to do a session on the career counseling. We put each and every things in step by steps. We will set up an example about each topics, each professions. And I'll tell you one thing about Delphi. Delphi is giving not only about cybersecurity knowledge, but also giving a knowledge about there are many professions, many certifications, course training we are providing about cybersecurity, digital marketing course, supply chain, project management, accounts, and finance certifications. So, guys, we are not concentrating on one cybersecurity part. We are all in one. So we do everything. So there are many options for you guys, and I would like to ask many things, but we have a short time. So you can ask me many questions through email and WhatsApp. As I said, I'm available for you guys, and I'm very happy to assist you further. And also, I just want to know which next topic should be in the next webinar. So we can concentrate on that, and we can put a plan for that. So thank you for coming in this webinar. It was a nice session. I hope you like this webinar, and we'll see you in the next webinar. And we'll update you through LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, obviously, and YouTube also. So subscribe our YouTube channel, and also you will get few updates about the professions. So thank you very much. Thank you, Kashif sir, for giving us such wonderful webinar
Yeah.
explanations,
And thank you to
examples.
all the attendees who just were very much patient and listening to me. And as we mentioned that it's our responsibility to be safe and keep our safety in our hand. So I would like to say, and like if you need any help from my side, you can reach out to Jignesh also, and we will be more happy people to assist you in any of your endeavors. So be IT smart and be safe, and that's the and be safe during COVID-19 also, and we have to follow the instructions of the. And soon we are going to come back to normal conditions, hopefully, inshallah, and see you guys in the another webinar soon.
Okay, I have just before ending this session, Sangha is asking,
Mhm.
like a boot camp, and we will have can we get a certification for attending the webinar?
Yeah, we can do that. It's not an issue. So you just see and you can discuss with Delphi, and we can give them like as we have
So,
I think promised them for one CP hours, right?
okay,
So yeah, we can send them and we can sign it. Also not an issue.
okay. So, guys, please note down my email address on the screen, my mobile number, and it can be used as a WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp me. Okay, so please note down this email address, mobile number, and you can reach to our website that is www.edudelphi.com/AE. So you will get all the informations of the courses, and hopefully we'll meet you in the next webinar. So thank you for coming here. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.